Longhorn Nation, Sooner fans, welcome to episode 219 of the Bevo Podcast, the only podcast exclusively dedicated to covering the greatest rivalry in college football, the University of Oklahoma and the University of Texas. I'm here with my man Kevin Miller. I am John Whitson. Kevin, Arch Manning in the Cheez It Bowl against Michigan in a 41-27 win. Arch goes 21 of 34, 221 yards, 2 touchdowns, rushes for 9 carries, 155 yards, 2 touchdowns, basically responsible for 4 total touchdowns. In a candid moment caught on camera, he explains to the world that he's just going to stop giving a fudge nugget. And the question I have for you, Kevin, is should Oklahoma fan be worried that Arch Manning just doesn't care anymore and is going to play like this for the rest of his college career? Is that a concern for Oklahoma fan, Kevin?
Man, I think it should be. I would be concerned. I would definitely be concerned. He's going to be the best quarterback in the country next year.
I think he's referring to Steve Sarkisian's game plan and the decisions that Steve and the play calls that Steve is sending in from the sideline. I think he's saying, I don't give a rip about anything Sark is calling, and I'm going to go call my own offense, and I'm going to call my own number, and Sark can suck it. Do you think that's what he was referring to, Kevin?
Well, that would indicate that Sark called a bad game, which he did not.
Well, maybe you don't know. He's called a bad game all year, and all of a sudden they come against Michigan.
Well, he didn't call a bad game in the Cotton Bowl.
Well, he called a winning game
when we ran the Steelers off the field.
Yeah, with the block in the back. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, well, we'll take it down from 17-10.
Well, first of all, we were never going to win that game, and that was more on Oklahoma than on y'all. I think you would agree with that. That being said, you should. That being said, I thought Arch looked pretty good. Arch looked pretty good. And if this is an indication, I think Oklahoma fans should be concerned. However, who's he going to throw the ball to next year, Kevin? We can break the game down if you want to. We can break the game down.
Well, we don't have to break it all down. We don't have to go quarter by quarter.
It's a Cheez It Bowl.
First of all, it is not the Cheez It Bowl. Cheez It Bowl is a game that y'all lost to Florida State. This is the Cheez It Citrus Bowl. Get it right.
Fair enough.
Get it right. These bowls change names.
You don't have DeAndre Moore anymore. Gone. Parker Livingstone, your second best receiver on the season, gone. Now look, you bring in Cam Coleman. I guess you can make it make sense, but until that happens, please explain it to me like I'm a 3-year-old. How Texas and Parker Livingstone have separated ways.
It's very simple, John.
I don't think it is. I don't think it is. Go ahead.
It is. It's very simple. We live in a world where college athletes get compensated to play football or do any sport, right? Parker Livingston thought he was worth a certain amount. Texas offered him a certain amount. He wanted more than that amount. Texas would not give him that amount. He decided to leave. It's very simple. I don't like it. I love Parker Livingston. I wish he was still on our team. But if he feels like he can make more money elsewhere, have at it.
I think this is an example of a team thinking that they have an emotional tie to a player, almost like an in-state recruit. Like they don't have to pay him. He should want to play at the school that he dreamed of playing at.
What are you basing that on?
I'm basing it on the fact that I think if Parker Livingstone was a more highly recruited player out of high school, I think if Parker Livingstone was not from the state of Texas and was seen not as an underachiever, but as the achiever that he was this year, an overachiever, I'm sorry. Not seen as an overachiever, but instead looking at the stats he put on the thing, that they probably would have made a better chance, a better run at keeping him. He had proven production as a number 2 receiver. Okay? He was a very good number 2 for you guys. Second on the team in receptions for touchdowns. Only one behind Ryan Wingo. And I don't think anybody expected that at the beginning of the year. And my point is, I think that there's an element, and I'm not, look, let me be clear. Yes, I'm saying this about Texas, but you could insert a California kid in USC, an Oklahoma kid in Oklahoma, an Alabama kid in Alabama, a Florida kid in Florida. Like, let me be very clear. I am talking about Texas. But what I'm saying is, this to me feels like what Parker Livingstone wants to play for Texas. He's only wanted to play for Texas. He should be happy to play for Texas. And so we can get the hometown discount for Parker Livingstone. And now, do I know that for a fact? No, I don't. But the tea leaves seem to indicate that they thought they could lowball this kid. And they did. And he called their bluff. And now they're having to part ways. What's unnatural about this, and what makes me feel disgusting inside, is that his first visit is to Oklahoma. That's
Second
messed
visit,
up, Kevin.
Second visit.
Where'd he go first?
Indiana.
Listen, he'd kill it in the Indiana system.
He absolutely would kill it in Indiana. Here's the thing. I mean, from what I hear, he got a mid-6-figure offer from Texas. He wanted close to a 7.
You don't think Indiana's going to pay him 7, are they? I don't think. I mean, once he's out, I don't think he's getting paid that much, right?
No. So I don't know. That's just what I've heard. Listen, it's simple, right? You're a business owner. You know what this is. One of your employees can go to you and say, hey, John, I want to make twice what I make. And you can either pay him or say, nah, I don't think so. That's what it is. That's it. Wish him the best. I wish he was still on our team. I really do. I'm not mad at him for leaving. Some people are. But it just is what it is. You know, it's straight business.
I think there's a hometown discount, but you could be right. Look, you're probably right, Kevin. You're usually right about these things. I just think it's messed up. I think it's messed up when you got, and I know it's about money, and you know, you and I feel like have, for the most part, not embraced, but accepted the landscape that is college football, right? And we're willing to look at things and say, okay, this is where we're at now, and you know, expectations are different than they should be. But when you got a guy like Parker Livingstone that wants to play football at the University of Texas, and he produces, it just is like, why is he not playing it? Why is he not at the University of Texas next year? It's messed up.
I just don't think, you know, people are making it seem like Texas pulled a scholarship or something. He just got an offer that he felt wasn't good enough, and Texas felt like it was. We'll be fine. We're going to be fine at receiver. Cam Coleman.
I think you will be fine. I think probably Parker will be fine too. If the kid goes especially if he goes to an Indiana school, but if he goes to Indiana, but can we also agree that him going to Oklahoma is
it's
messed up? It's messed up.
Yeah, it is. Now, we've done this before, right? Brennan Thompson going from Texas to Oklahoma.
But he
Parker
wasn't
better than he
wasn't nearly as productive.
Player. He's a better football player, and he'll have a more impact. I mean, would he have been your number 1 receiver last year? 1A at worst.
He'd have been 1A. He'd have been 1A. But you know, the thing for him, and I think the issue for a lot of kids, and I'm using the word kids lightly, but the thing for him is, we wouldn't have thought he was going to be, just like you didn't think he was going to be the number. I mean, he started to have good days.
And we expected him to be good.
Really? Seriously?
Yes. Not to be number 1 receiver, but we knew he'd be good. We knew he'd be an impact guy.
Well, I think that he could be a Satania-like player. Maybe in the same way, but definitely possession and good target, good route running.
Yeah, he's a good route, and he can go down the field too now.
Yeah.
He's got speed. You wouldn't expect it. Guy named Parker Livingston, but he can run too. So I wish he was still playing with us, but I understand all aspects of it. I understand he wanted this amount. I understand Texas saying, hey, man, this is where we have you valued at. If he doesn't like it, he has a right to go and look for employment elsewhere. It sucks, but it is what it is.
Along the front of Cam Coleman, still the number one portal prize. Has he scheduled a visit with Texas? Do we have any updates on what his
right now? He got there yesterday and will be there today. And Texas hoping to lock it down, but he has the NFL representation, right? He doesn't have some kind of no-name agent. He has legit, a legit agency representing him. So we expect him after Texas Heat to visit Texas A&M, and then potentially USC and Texas Tech.
Is Oklahoma not made the short list as far as you know? And I haven't heard any. I haven't heard anything either.
I've not heard Oklahoma's name in the mix at all. I've only heard Texas A&M, USC, and then potentially Texas Tech, which we know Texas Tech will likely offer him the most amount of money, right? They did this with a lot of their guys. I heard David Bailey, their stud edge rusher, they offered him like 3 times more than his next closest offer. That's how serious they were about getting him. So, but you have to ask yourself, if you're Cam Coleman, do you want to catch passes from whoever they're going to have at quarterback, Marcel Reed or Arch, right? Now, if they offer him just the kind of money that is, beyond life altering, he may just end up at Texas Tech. But we'll see.
We're going to talk about these playoff games in more detail, but as it relates to Tech, yes, they made the playoff. Yes, they made the playoff, and everybody can acknowledge they made the playoff, and and got a first round bye. That is a tremendous season for Texas Tech University. I mean, never having made a New Year's Six bowl, never had.
It's a dream season.
It's a dream season.
Dream season for them.
And they play, and all kudos. I think if you're a Cam Coleman, you've got to say, yeah, that's nice, but they still lost 23-0 and never had a chance in that game.
Correct. Couldn't do anything offensively.
And am I the guy that's going to come in and make that change? I don't know. Right. Because that was look, and we're going to talk about all the ways we were wrong in this college football playoff quarterfinal, because you and I were wrong a lot. But one of the things I was right about was that the Texas Tech's defensive line is legit.
Correct.
And they held on as long as they could. Like, they played so good, and it was.
They had
like,
Dante Moore running for his life.
This is not on the Tech defense. They just could not hold on any longer, and it really exposed to what you were right about. Baron Morton's and their offense just was. He's not very good.
Not good.
It's not good. Couldn't run the ball. Couldn't throw the ball. It was terrible. So if you're Cam Coleman,
you have 4 turnovers. Not only can you not throw it. Not throwing it is one thing. But when you turn it over 4 times, you have no chance.
And they were all bad turnovers too. And so maybe not that any turnover was a good turnover, but they were particularly bad. Yeah. But my point back to Cam Coleman is, it's like, okay, I can go get paid. And heck, maybe he will. If he sees it as a 1-year rental and he's going to the league next year, maybe what I'm about to say doesn't matter. But you do kind of get relegated to the Big 12.
Correct. Yeah, you're not playing a game. You're not playing in very many games that truly matter on a national landscape.
Yeah, you're just not. Like, it's just
the biggest game of the year was a game against BYU. The biggest regular season.
Correct. And nobody got
fired. Take the ratings for that. Yeah, correct. They had game day there, but
and so you look across the landscape and you go, okay, I put myself in a position to. Maybe I take some short-term loss, but I'm a better bigger influence in the game. I get more eyeballs on me. I'm putting myself in a better position long term. That's the selling point, obviously, from Texas A&M, SC, whatever. But it's going to be fascinating. On the OU side of things, on the portal, then we'll get back to. I don't want to talk portal because it's a little more, but then we can get back to. I don't mind.
We'll get back to the games. Yeah.
I mean, all you got to know from that game was that Texas struggled defensively until Arch decided to put a Superman cape on and go win the game. Right? I mean.
Yeah, and the defense stepped up in the second half. We'll get into it. I got some thoughts on it.
I still think
we'll come back to it.
I still think Bryce Underwood is just badly misused. I don't know what Kyle Whittingham's going
to do.
You know
what? I will say, though, it was nice that they cut him loose a little bit. We saw way more from him in this game than we have all season.
I agree with that.
Way more from him.
There's still more from him. I still think he's being.
Correct.
I still think there's.
I'm a fan. I'm in.
Dude, he's got the physical skills, all the stuff, but man, they put him in some weird positions. All right, Oklahoma. Let's start with Joe John Finley, out as tight ends coach. Not a surprise. Least surprising news of the offseason. I'm surprised more than that, I'm surprised it didn't happen last year. Disclosure, I know Joe John's family. They're awesome. And this is, I've never thought I'd be doing something like this where I would be talking about OU football and know maybe a little bit. I don't know them well at all, but I know them. And it's like, man, this is affects real people, right? It affects people in a very real way beyond just, he had to go. So on a personal level, it's weird, right? It's weird to know that he had to get fired. On a professional Oklahoma football level, he had to go, dude. It just wasn't good. The tight end room was so bad, okay? So bad to the point where you're elevating a linebacker, and he's the best tight end you've had in that room, maybe under his tenure.
Correct. Yeah,
that's not good.
No, not at all.
And then now, chicken or the egg? Caden Helms leaves. Carson Kent leaves. Do they leave because Joe John got fired? Or did they leave and then that was the straw that broke the camel's back? I don't know. I don't know that it matters. I don't know that it matters because I think Caden Helms looked like a tight end, right? I think he if you took a picture of him and said, do you want this guy to be your starting tight end? You'd be like, yeah, absolutely. But he never played like it. There was never any impact there.
Yeah, we talked the other day, man. I was just like, well, think about the transfer portal. When you start losing key starters, that's when it becomes concerning. But losing guys who had never made an impact and likely were never going to make an impact, it just is what it is. And I've got the list here.
Dude, it's a long list, man.
It is. And we'll go through it real quick. And tell me, I'll go through the names. You tell me when you are stressed about losing a player. All right?
Well, Taylor Tatum. Stressed.
You stressed about losing Taylor Tatum?
Well,
he was there for 2 years, John. He made no impact.
Listen, I hear you. I understand what you're saying. He's a 5-star. Yeah. 5 stars don't grow on trees. Okay?
Agreed.
And Oklahoma does not recruit 5 stars at the level that other programs recruit 5 stars. So when we get one, it's like, okay, we gotta make this happen. And so we're going to talk about other players on this list, but he's at the top of, on the offensive side of the ball, a complete lack of development since Brent Venables has been there. Whether that's, now, is Levy gone? Is he off this? Okay, maybe he is. So maybe this is a Seth Luttrell issue and then now a Ben Arbuckle issue. But at the heart of it, it's a Brent Venables issue, right? You recruited a 5-star tailback and you got nothing out of him, and we're supposed to say it's the kid's fault? I just have a hard time.
I'm not saying it's the kid's fault, but I mean, is he good? Is it a missed evaluation, or because to me, running back doesn't really need a lot of development. You need to develop certain skills, pass blocking, that kind of awareness, but just hand him the rock. Give him the
Okay,
ball.
so if you say if you're questioning the identification or the
Yeah.
evaluation, right? You're saying,
Yeah.
okay, was it a bad eval?
Yeah, I'm just you have to question that because for him to have no production and he hasn't been hurt the entire time.
Kevin, I hear you, and we're not really arguing, okay? We're not really
Yeah,
arguing.
no.
I hope you know this. I'm just
Just the
more
fact we've
talk.
never seen anything. Like we haven't even seen a flash. Like we saw more from who's your kid? The freshman this year out of Houston. Humble Summer Creek. I
Or
can't remember his name.
not
For
Blaylock.
Blaylock. We saw more from him this year than we ever seen from Taylor Tatum. Even just
I,
a couple of plays. Ooh, like it's like, oh, there's something there. He had a couple of runs in that Michigan game. It's like, oh, okay, we might have something here. We never saw anything like that from Taylor Tatum. Never.
I understand. I understand what you're saying. We never saw anything from Taylor Tatum. We saw less from Javonte Barnes over the years. Just zero development. He never got better. It never got marginally better. And even Xavier Robinson and Torrey Blaylock have not gotten better, Kevin. They've just who they've been. So when I look at a Taylor Tatum, for me, when you ask if I'm concerned, it's like, well, yeah, because I have zero confidence that if we go get another 5-star recruit, that we're going to do anything with them. And in addition to just high school recruits, Jaden Ott is not on this list. He's not in the portal yet, from what I know.
He's a senior, right? Does he have
Okay,
any
maybe he's
eligibility
gone.
left?
Maybe he's gone. Maybe he's gone. My point being is, are you saying that we were so bad? So we misevaled Tatum. We misevaled Jaden Ott.
The J Dot thing, I don't even know what to make of that.
Look,
I mean,
like.
what have you heard anything as to what happened? Is
Well, it
he
sounds like
injured? Was he injured the whole time? Is he just that bad of a teammate? Was he just not good enough?
I kind of hear all that. I kind of hear most talking heads don't even like the guy. Like, it's not even like, you know what I mean? It's one of those deals where like, we really like the kid, but he's just not. No, it's like, not only is he not any good, but we think he's kind of a,
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't even look. At some point, somebody's got to be held responsible for it, though, Kevin. We're holding Joe John Finley responsible for it. DeMarco Murray, a legendary Sooner. I think he has the most touchdowns in program history.
Stud running back, man. Dude could do it all out there.
If he's not hurt against Missouri in the Big 12 championship, we beat Florida in 2008 for a national championship. Facts. He was that dynamic. I think we had 2 goal line stops that they stopped. Dude, you tell me he doesn't score there? Stop. We saw what he did in the NFL. Stop it. He was fantastic. Look, here's your other
development hasn't been there, like you said.
There's no development. So, okay, is a bad eval. That's fine. USC was in on that same bad eval.
No. When I say a bad eval, I'm not talking about from Oklahoma. I mean from everybody. Everybody. He was a 5-star across the board. Everybody thought he was super talented. Everybody wanted him. So is there something there still?
I think you're giving Oklahoma too much of a pass. I think you're giving DeMarco Murray too much of a pass.
No.
I'm
talking about from the eval, right? Like, okay, like we had him rated as a 5-star. Maybe he should have been a low 4-star or something. I don't know. Kid has talent. Is he still playing? Did he play baseball for y'all?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. Look it up. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Also, real quick, other names here. You see Carson Kent, Jake Taylor. You're losing some depth in the offensive line, right?
Yeah.
KJ Daniels never made an impact. Logan Howland, I know he's played, but he's been hurt too, right?
Right.
Same with Gentry Williams. Obviously, he showed flashes of, being
Look,
a really good football player. But
I
he
think
never could
Gentry
stay healthy either.
I think Gentry Williams had a chance to be, and maybe he still does, but a very high productive NFL corner. But your best ability is your availability, and he's gotten passed over by Cortland Gilroy, Eli Bowen, Jacoby Johnson, and others.
He just couldn't stay on the field.
He just can't stay on the field. He can't stay on the field. It doesn't matter, and it sucks because I think that guy was a ball hawk. I think he was a really good player. I understand why he's leaving, and it's okay.
Yeah, fresh start. Maybe he can make something happen at his new stop, stay healthy. I mean, Malik and Michael Hawkins, you never want to lose two legacy players, but, Michael Hawkins wants to play, clearly, and he's not going to. It's very simple. He's never going to be the starting quarterback at the University of Oklahoma.
He's never going to be the starting quarterback. There's a contingent of OU fans that still contend he should have pushed Mateer more for playing time this year. You said it best when we discussed it a couple episodes ago. We saw that the Kent State game. Like, we all saw it.
Yeah.
And it didn't look good.
Not at all.
And then you've got a quarterback recovering from a thumb surgery 18 days prior, and your decision point is, let's go with that guy over Hawkins.
Yeah.
That's all you had to know.
Yes. So regardless of what we think, what fans think, the coaching staff thinks that he's not the best option.
I mean, John Mateer, and we won the game against LSU, threw 3 interceptions up to the point of the LSU game. And if we had a backup that the coaches believed in, they would have played him.
You would think so.
And you don't know, but there might have been a understanding between Hawkins, although not because his dad didn't seem to think so after the LSU game. But maybe it was like, hey, dude, we're not going to burn your red shirt for you because we care about you.
Maybe so.
I don't know.
Yeah.
And although I say all that to say his dad didn't tend to agree with that. It sucks. We saw flashes last year, or I guess now 2 years ago. But not. You're right. He was never going to be the starter. And look, if he's your starter,
he wants to play.
Yeah, but what are we talking about? We talk about another power. Is he going to start at a Power 4 conference?
I mean,
what do you think?
Maybe at a small ACC school or something like that. I mean, I think he should go to the Big 12.
Yeah.
Somewhere like that. Or even like a UNLV or somewhere.
Do they need quarterback? They need quarterbacks at Oklahoma State.
No, they're getting Nestamaker.
Oh, is he signed?
Yeah, he committed yesterday. Yeah.
But okay, go play for I don't know who K-State has. I'm just throwing names out here. I'm not an expert at all.
Go to the Big 12. Yeah.
Yeah, but Colin Klein, a running
Josh
kind of.
Hoover left TCU. Go see if they need a guy.
Yeah, you're probably right. I think Big 12, ACC,
yeah.
low end,
or you can go to the high G5 even.
Low end Big 10 schools, Purdue.
Right. Yeah.
Probably make something happen. All right.
All right, real quick, Devin Jordan. I mean,
a little, because we saw him make plays.
Okay. Yeah.
A little, we saw him make plays. Freaking out about it? No, probably like on the same level as I was last year when the big kid from Indiana entered.
McCullough.
Yeah, when Dason McCullough entered, I was a little bit like, I hate to lose that guy, but I'm not going to lose my mind. That's kind of how I feel about Devon Jordan.
Did you hear anything about him this year? I didn't. Did he play this year? Where did he go?
No. If he did, yeah, you're right. And so,
yeah, and that's how I feel about
it's a little cringy to lose a guy.
It is, especially you spent some years with your coaching staff trying to develop these guys, but it just kind of is what it is. And the same thing, we'll look at Texas here in a second, but just finishing up with OU, Marcus Strong, he's buried. on the depth chart. You guys are really deep at defensive tackle. Even with the guys you're losing, you still have talent there, and you're already looking for guys in the portal. So, I mean, Troy Everett was a player, but you know, not stressed about it. Marcus Wimberly, Javante Barnes, Jacob Sexton couldn't stay healthy. Again, Caden Helms looked the part, no production. What do you think about Kobe McKenzie entering?
Well, I hope it means we've got some tea leaves from the NCAA on Owen Heineke. But look, dude, when McKenzie went down and Heineke stepped in, I thought the production from that position went up.
Right.
And I think he's a good player. I think he's a real good player. I didn't mind him on the field at all. But from a production level, Heineke was a better player than he was. And so
yeah, your staff like Venables, like Kip Lewis and Heineke out there. That's who he trusted.
Well, absolutely. But Heineke made more plays. Right. You think about the sack on Aguilar. There's a couple of sacks he made in the playoff game that were just fantastic that McKenzie didn't really make. Like, I can't remember moments where I'm not saying he didn't make plays, but
no, man, he was a solid player, but not a playmaker. Yeah, you see the impact. You feel Heineke's impact on the field more.
His fiance definitely made a bigger impact on Oklahoma sports than Kobe McKenzie, and that's no slight on Kobe McKenzie.
For those of us who don't know who that is, who's his fiance?
Kinsey Hansen.
Great.
Soon to be Kinsey McKenzie, which I think is kind of weird.
Love it. Is Kinsey short for McKenzie?
Oh, probably, right? Who knows? That would be amazing.
That's going to be the wild part. McKenzie. Love it.
That would be amazing.
All right, Kendall Dobie. Again, we saw flashes, but the injury he suffered, hard to come back from that thing, man. That was a bad one.
Dude, and what could have been, golly, he was a good player. But
yeah, picked off Ewers in the 23 game.
Yeah. No, he's a nice player. Nice player. That injury, though, oof. That's one of those scary ones to stay with you.
It was a bad one. And, of course, lastly, Jaden Gibson. Never really got going, right? Talent, big, tall kid with some impressive straight line speed, but never really made a huge impact. And also a kid who suffered some pretty bad injuries there.
I mean, I think the takeaway is the defense is going to be fine, but we're looking at another rebuild offensively. We think about Joe John Finley, DeMarco Murray, Bill Bedenbaugh, and we start to go, where are the recruited players and why aren't they contributing? Now, offensive line, it's pretty hard to get too tough on Bedenbaugh with Foji and Wewu and Fasusi and Foji, Fasusi, and who's the other one? Oh, my brains.
Pierre Louis.
Yeah, EPL, right? So it's like, okay, we're going to give them a pass. Like, let's backfill. Those three are a very, very, very good foundation to build on. So, okay, we'll set him aside. Jamarcus, and then Joe John Finley. And then you look at, like, even Emmett Jones from a receiving standpoint. I mean, if you don't have Satania transfer, Burks transfer, you're hoping to pick somebody else up in the transfer because there's just not anybody there that from a developmental standpoint. So it's just Texas. Let's look at Texas portal.
Yeah, we'll look at Texas's portal exits here, and I'll tell you my thoughts on that.
I don't think either. I don't know the names, but outside of running back and Livingstone, we're just when I looked through them, there weren't any names that like jumped out.
Correct. Yeah, and that's why we're really not upset about anything. Nate Kibble here, we liked him as a developmental guy, but again, I think he felt like, he would have a chance to play elsewhere. I mean, Will Stone, kicker, I'm never going to stress about a kicker in the portal. No. Neto, they would not play him at all this year. We thought he'd be the starting left guard. I don't know if he was in the doghouse or what the deal was, but so No surprise
Okay.
there. We were surprised he didn't leave during the season.
Okay, we're looking at an on-3 rivals. That's what's on the screen right now. If you're not
Yeah,
watching this, um, when I see the 3-star and the 4-star, was he recruited as a 4-star and now he's a
correct. These are their
3-star?
recruit deal, and this is how they have him ranked as far as transfer portal ranking
So
goes.
he's gone from a 4-star high school recruit to a 3-star
Portal recruit.
portal recruit. Interesting. Okay.
That's right. Yeah. Levon Johnson was a transfer from Maryland. We brought him in kind of for depth. He played a little bit and was okay, but was buried on the depth chart. So no surprise with him leaving. Parker, we definitely discussed that. 4-star as a transfer, 4-star as a recruit.
What's that?
Uh,
What's that percentage on Indiana right now?
this
Is that
is, you have certain writers for the site that for different fan sites that will give predictions on where they believe he is going to go in the portal. That's where that Indiana thing comes in here.
is that saying 100%? I can't quite see that.
Yeah, but let's see. It does say
Look,
100%. I don't know who that's coming from though.
I think it's a
That
good
could just
landing
be
spot
one
for him,
person.
man.
It would be a great one. It would be a great one for him. I mean, they legitimately could win the national championship. They're the betting favorite to win the national championship this year. And I think they're the best coach team in the country. They're the best coach team I've seen all year. And the way Yetis seems to be wired, I don't see them stopping anytime soon. So it'll be a great spot for him.
Again, we will break some games down after the break, but just a quick comment on Signetti. I have never seen a more locked-in coach. I mean, and we're talking about, and when I say never, I mean that. Even Saban showed a little emotion. Signetti is
Yeah,
like a freaking cyborg over there.
he really is. It's crazy
I
to
mean,
see.
he shows. Look, I love Brent Venables. Okay, this isn't a Brent. I love Brent Venables, but you know exactly what he's feeling at all times: anger, sadness, happiness. Maybe too. Some would say too happy. Sometimes some would say, you know what I mean. It's a roller coaster.
Yeah,
Um, Sark was losing his mind in the Michigan game. I don't know.
he was.
There was a couple
He
times.
was working the refs more than I've ever really seen him do it. Hopefully he keeps that up.
Signetti, on the other hand, I think my God,
Laser
wow.
focused. Yeah.
Wow. Jeez. Will Mendoza's brother be the starter next year?
I don't think so. I know they're looking to they're getting visits from Josh Hoover, the TCU quarterback, and also Brendan Sorensby, the Cincinnati quarterback. So they're active in the portal looking
Okay.
for
Okay,
quarterbacks.
go ahead. Go ahead.
All right, Parker Livingston, we talked about Trey Wisner. Obviously, I didn't like
That's the
Trey leaving.
shocker. That's the
Yeah,
shocker.
but here's the thing. I like Trey. Actually, I love Trey Wisner. But even before the season, remember we talked about him and you saying how he's the most, you know, the leading returning rusher in the SEC. And I
Correct.
told you we love Trey, but I don't know if he's, a bell cow type running back, 20, carries a game type deal. And I still feel that way. I would have liked him on our team, but we need a talent upgrade at the running back position, which includes him. I wish he was still around, but he has a chance to make more money and be a starter somewhere else. So I understand him leaving.
It's interesting. It's interesting how much attention's being paid to the wide receiver position in the portal. And as far as teams that made the playoff, I think obviously Ohio State, Bama, really talent heavy on the wide receiver side. But the ones that are left, it's running back, man. It's running back, and that's the only thing. If I'm a Texas fan, is it's like I get that we're going after Cam Coleman, and as an Oklahoma fan, I get it too. But man, tailback still seems to
Oh,
be a pretty important spot.
trust me, we're going heavy in the portal at running back. We are Jaden Ball. We really want him. He has not entered the portal yet. He's still deciding
Really, is
between.
Sumrall going to hold? Is Sumrall going to hold on to
He
him?
he is trying with everything he has to keep him around, to keep him at Florida. If he were to enter the portal, Texas would likely be the destination. You never know because everybody's going to want him. because he's a special player. But that's if he enters the portal. Isaac Brown, running back from Louisville, same deal. He has announced that he's entering the portal. What Louisville is doing is when you request to enter the portal, the school has 48 hours before they have to put your name into the portal. So they're using every second of those 48 hours to try to keep him at Louisville. So if he goes in, we're hearing he's coming to Texas. He is a very, very explosive running back. He's not big.
Oh, yeah,
I think he's
no,
5'10",
but
195. He
he's
is a
fantastic.
blur. Yeah. So that's the hope. So yeah, we're not just
Is Lagway in the portal?
Lagway is in the portal.
That could be telling, Kevin, that Lagway's already in, but the ball kid's not.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, because he likes Florida, right? He's obviously the starter, but
They can pay him. Florida can pay him.
correct. Yes. So I think it seems like he wants to be at Florida, unless he just doesn't vibe with the new staff. Texas hired Florida's running back coach, so there's a relationship there already. So we'll just see if he enters or not. If he enters, we feel good about it. If he doesn't, we move on. We look towards Isaac Brown, and there'll be others. Caleb Hawkins is also in the portal.
What else you got?
All right, Ricky Stewart, freshman running back. Real quick, DeAndre Moore. We really like DeAndre Moore. DeAndre Moore wants to go somewhere where he could be the main guy, the number one guy. That's the issue there. No hard feelings on either end. That's why he left.
Can he be the number one guy at an SEC school or a top tier?
Well, if it's a smaller, no, I don't think a top tier school. But I mean, he has a lot of interest. I heard he might even be visiting Ohio State. So I think he's visiting Kentucky, Memphis, some smaller schools like that. But like I said, I've heard Ohio State for him. Indiana's interested as well. So he'll have suitors, and I think he can find somewhere where he can be the top guy. And with Kentucky, they have a new coach, so it's not like he's playing in the Mark Stoops offense. He'll be playing in a more explosive offense.
Kevin, this is not a basketball podcast, but I'm going to go down just a small little rabbit hole here now that you mentioned Kentucky. How long can Mark Pope stay at Kentucky if he's going to get blown out by Alabama in basketball?
Not long.
I'm surprised he made the trip home. I don't know where if it was home or away, but if it was away, I'm surprised they even let him come home. Like you're Kentucky. I know Alabama's good. I get it.
They're really good. I love their coach. He's awesome.
Yeah, he's got great jackets, great sports jackets. Not enough guys wearing sports. Not enough guys wearing sport jackets. His sport jacket
we rock
game
the polo now. We rock the polo and the slack.
Dude, so many quarter zips. That kind of stuff.
The sport code game for him though, it's
so good. And dude, Kentucky's a basketball school. Now they'll talk all they want about football, and Mark Stoops did them good. Dude, listen, you can't get beat by Alabama like that. You just can't. All right. Go back to your list.
So that's the DeAndre. Ricky Stewart was a true freshman this year, didn't play it down. Okay. Leonga Lafau, look, starting level linebacker for us. From what we heard, he got a massive NIL deal. We expect him to end up at BYU.
Okay.
Melvin Hills, young defensive lineman buried on the depth chart. Wardell Mack, he's listed here. We think he's going to stay. He played very well against Michigan. So I expect Texas to keep him.
Okay. I think that's telling. I think it's telling that he played a lot.
Correct. Also, we made that coaching staff change, getting rid of Dwayne Aquina, which was, in hindsight, a very bad hire, trying to bring him back. I think that's part of the reason why he's in the portal or listed his name to enter the portal. He has not officially entered it. Players announced their intentions to enter the portal. The portal is open, obviously, but he has not actually entered it. Derek Williams, talented safety coming out of high school, high 4-star guy. He had a really bad knee injury. He came back this year, hasn't gotten back to the same form that he had before he got hurt. He is officially in the portal, but I'm hearing with Muschamp and the new staff, he may actually come out of the portal and stay in Texas. We'll see. Connor Stroh, guard. He actually
Yeah,
started
whatever.
the season against Ohio State. He was not good enough, all due respect.
Yeah.
Santana Wilson, freshman, redshirt freshman, never got on the field. Probably wasn't going to see the field anytime soon. Makes sense. Same with Aaron Butler. Trey Owens, backup quarterback. They actually liked him as a recruit. They actually liked him his first year, but for whatever reason, did not take a leap and got passed by KJ Lacey, the true freshman,
Yeah.
last year. So he was not going to play. He's gone. CJ Baxter, we talked about him. He needed a fresh start, 5-star out of high school. Horrific injury. Came back, not the same player as he was before the injury. I think he needed a fresh start. He also was one of the highest paid players on the team. The production wasn't anywhere close to the salary. He needs a fresh start. So it's just one of those things. He's gone. Jared Gibson, he's been gone. He left the team midseason. So
Well, I look, obviously wide receiver is a target for you guys. Running tailback's going to be the most fascinating one, I think, for you.
yeah.
I mean, Cole. If you get Coleman, it's a home run. We all know that. If you don't, you'll fill in some guys. It's Texas.
Yeah. And we have some young guys too that we like.
But
Some young guys that didn't play, who played in the bowl game and played well.
I think if I'm Arch though, and I think I'm saying, give me a tailback that I can hand the ball off to every once in a while.
Listen, John, we talked about this all.
He's the best part. He's the best part of your running game. He's the best part of your running game.
Correct.
He doesn't need to be.
He doesn't need to be. And yeah, which is unacceptable. And I told you this is why we finished 9-3 is because we lost the transfer portal last year. We weren't aggressive enough. That is not happening this year. Sark, they're all in. Sark and those who write the check are all in on the portal this year.
If we're Oklahoma and Texas fans, which we are, what is the date with which we should expect to see dominoes begin to fall? Like, I feel like I already want guys signed because the portal's been open for 2
man.
days.
I know we're so anxious, right?
But is it like Monday? Is it tomorrow? Today's a Sunday.
I was hoping to start today, but what is it? It's a 2-week window of the portal, but I would think guys would want to get this stuff done pretty quick. So I would hope some dominoes start falling today.
But it's a 2-week window to enter the portal. We could still sign portal guys later,
That's
right?
true.
We don't, everything doesn't have to be
guys
done.
want to do it quickly, so just so they can get on campus.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Hey, Kevin, we need to thank our sponsors. We're 47 minutes in. We need to give a shout out to our sponsors. From the beginning, Brown O'Haver has been there not only for the Boomer Bevo podcast, but for their clients, getting their clients more money on their insurance claims. So if you have a loss to your home or your business, you have to file an insurance claim on, you want to call Brown O'Haver, 405-735-5510. Let them work for you. Licensed by the state of Oklahoma and numerous other states. Brown O'Haver gets clients 30 to 40% more than they get on their own. If you or someone you know has had a loss, call Brown O'Haver, 405-735-5510. Kevin?
If you've had damage to your roof or you just need a roof inspection, you got to give our friends at Pioneer Roofing a call. They'll come out and give you a free detailed inspection, let you know if you need a new roof, if you need a roof repair, or if your roof is just fine. Give them a call, 405-549-2712.
The college football playoff semifinals are set. Let's start with what we were wrong about in the college football playoff, Kevin. You and
This is almost everything.
Every one of our picks, and not even really close. Not even really close. Starting off on the New Year's Eve Bowl, Miami beats Ohio State 24-14. Did not have that on the bingo card. Yet at the same time, man, what I tell you, it's weird, right? Because it's
you did.
We made picks against our own analysis in some ways. Like for you, I think it was Texas Tech's offense. I think you made a pick against your own analysis. For me, it was Miami's defense. I said Miami's defense is really, really, really good. And if I look at the Indiana-Ohio State game, there's no reason I can't say that Miami can't play that same type of game. And dude, Miami was
Ohio State. They were the more physical team. They were
the more physical team. They were the more physical team, which is like crazy when you say that out loud. Now, how much of that is the bye week, right? And not getting to play a game for a month? We might talk about this at the end. I think they've got to get
rid of the bye week, man. It's no help to anyone.
Well, I don't know that so much that they got to get rid of the bye week. I don't want to expand. Like there were still two blowouts. There were still two blowouts.
We don't need a month in between. We don't need a month in between games.
No. That first week needs to be games. The first Saturday, or the second Saturday following the first Saturday following the championship needs to be the first.
Yeah, we don't need a break. There's no break. The break is not doing anything for anybody.
And the 19th and 20th needs to be the second round, and then you can still play the semifinals on New Year's Day, and also that first round bye. Those teams need to get a home game.
Yeah.
Ohio State should have had. No, look, I was going for Miami. Okay, I am glad Miami won the game. Like I think it's great. We all get fatigue of teams, so the fact that there's new blood in here doesn't bother me one bit. In addition, though, Ohio State, Texas Tech, Indiana, and Georgia, if they earned a first-round bye, they should get a home game.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree with that.
But all that to be said, Miami, look, dude, they were the better team. Like it's
correct.
Just,
and they keep winning, and Carson Beck only threw for 138 yards. It didn't matter.
Who cares?
They rushed for 153. Ohio State only rushed for 45.
That is
and
insane.
Picked off Julian's hand twice, including a pick six.
That was a bad pick six. That was like that was a John Mateer level pick six in the in the first round game. Maybe worse because.
And as good as Sayan was this year, he was really good. But man, these last two games, he really looked like a young player for the first time all year.
Well, look, people are gonna rag on the SEC. Alabama is kind of like the kicking boy and the poster child for like SEC's not that good. Okay, that's fine. It's really hard, 38-3 to argue against that, I guess. I still contend though in those Big Ten games, there's just the lower level teams. When Ohio State doesn't have to play very many of them, they just don't get tested and exposed.
Yeah, I agree.
And then we move to Miami, Florida. Well, Tech's defense held on as long. We've already kind of talked a little bit about this. They held on as long as they could. Dante Moore, though, you called it. You said Baron Morton's is going to let me down. I don't trust him. And then you went and picked Texas Tech.
Exactly.
And Dante Moore, all he did was go 26 of 33 for 234 yards and interception, whereas Baron Morton's went 18 of 32 for 137 yards, 2 interceptions, and they could do nothing against Oregon. Absolutely nothing. And if I'm a Cam Coleman-like recruit, I'm like, dude, I want to get paid, but I also don't want to get embarrassed.
Correct.
And they kind of got embarrassed.
I want people watching my games, and you can't get embarrassed, man. You can't throw 2 picks. You can't have the type of performance they had offensively. And again, like you said, their defense was great the entire game. Dante Moore was very efficient throwing the football, but man, he was on the run the entire game. They couldn't run the ball really. But yeah, Oregon's defense really made some plays. And that freshman corner they got, the Brandon Finney kid,
yep.
I mean, 2 interceptions and a fumble recovery. He was awesome. He also had a pick six in the Indiana game earlier this year. So the talented player they got out there.
I just think this is an example, though, and maybe the Ohio State game as well, of if this game's in Texas Tech, I don't think it's a blowout. I don't think it's 23-0. I think you get some momentum. Now, maybe Oregon's still the better team, but I think Texas Tech having to be off a week, Texas Tech having to travel to Miami to play their first game in a month, off a month, and then having to travel to Miami to play their first game in a month, and then talk about a stadium that was lacking any kind of juice. I mean,
right.
Miami.
Long trip, man. I mean, think about this. The travel for the fans. And then they got to go to Atlanta. If you're an Oregon fan, you can only do so much. Unless you're Phil Knight. Think about that, man. Traveling from Portland to Miami, and then a week later going from Portland to Atlanta. Well,
and I was thinking about this, right? You think about the Cotton Bowl with Miami and Ohio State. Ohio State dominated that fan split. It's probably 70-30, maybe more.
Yeah.
And the issue, though, is in a metro like Dallas or the DFW metro, you've got some native Ohio State fans. Ohio State is a big enough school and a big enough fan base that you get into a metro area like Dallas-Fort Worth, your fans don't have to travel. They're there. I would venture 75% of those Ohio State fans might already live in the state of Texas.
Correct. A lot of them do, for sure.
And the same thing goes for like the Sugar Bowl. Like,
yeah, that's why I have the best atmosphere.
Yeah,
that's why yeah. I mean, it's Georgia.
They got to play these second round games at home. All right, that's Oregon. Alabama got exposed. I mean, it was really, really, really bad. We were just wrong. I think we thought that the talent gap would be considerably in Alabama's favor. We thought Kalen DeBoer, getting a little momentum coming out of the Oklahoma game, might have some tricks up his sleeve. And none of that was true. I mean, dude, they ended up putting their backup. I mean, Ty Simpson got benched. Right? It's just bad. It was bad all around. Kalen DeBoer, for whatever good mojo he got out of the Oklahoma game, just poured it all out on the Rose Bowl field. That was bad football.
It was a beatdown. First of all, and I don't know if Alabama fan was like, okay, well, the next game, if we win this game, it's in Atlanta, so maybe we'll go to that one, because that looked like an Indiana home game. I couldn't believe it.
Well, Indiana's never been to the Rose Bowl, Kevin.
The colors team. I agree. But just for Alabama fan to not show up the way Alabama fan typically shows up, it was like an Indiana home game. I mean, when that stadium cleared out at the end of the game, it was still 80 or 75% full of Indiana fans. Obviously, they aren't going anywhere. I would have never they would have had to make me leave the stadium if I was an Indiana fan. I just can't believe that moment for them. Obviously, the Rose Bowl, the Big Ten tie in there, so it's historic for them, and for them never having played in it, for them to finally get there and to beat down Alabama. They dominated every facet of that football game.
And you want to know how
physical team, and they looked like they were the more faster team, and they were definitely the better coach team.
Oh, it wasn't close. You want to know how efficient this win was? 38-3. Mendoza was Heisman winner, 14 of 16, 192 and 3 touchdowns. 14 of 16 for 192. Dude, he didn't even wear his arm out. He didn't even wear his arm out.
It was like a performance you get against an FBS team where you just go, hey, let's go out, make a few plays. We'll sit you in the fourth. They smoked Alabama.
I would have liked to see Oklahoma in this game. I honestly, maybe I'm just a homer. I don't know that we get beat down 38-3.
Yeah.
But Indiana beats Oklahoma. Indiana beats Alabama. Indiana probably wins this whole dang thing the way they're playing right now.
It's certainly looking like it, man. They're just a machine. This is as good as any Nick Saban type.
Here's the problem
as far as how they perform.
The problem is they have to rematch against Oregon. It's hard to beat a team twice. Oklahoma's
it really is.
And Oregon's no chump, right? Dan Lanning's no chump when it comes to planning for these games and this kind of deal. Look, man, I don't know. It's really good. And then last game, probably the game of the weekend. And the Cotton Bowl was good, but it wasn't this good. Our analysis, right? Here's my analysis. Trinidad Chambliss is the best quarterback in this bracket.
In the tournament, yes. You call
Probably in the country, but he's the best one in the bracket. I said it. I was very consistent about it. And all this guy did was look like Kyler Murray in the fourth quarter. I mean, my God, the runs he was on, the plays he made, the what he gave in terms of an opportunity for them to win this game. It was fantastic. It was so fun to watch. And look, dude, I couldn't be happier that Kirby Smart got beat. The guy is annoying as can be. I am so happy Georgia's out of this bracket. Georgia and Ohio State both. Thank God I don't have to watch them. Bama, I don't have to watch them. It's just get the heck out. Like, I'm okay with it.
So good, man. I can't believe how good he was against that Georgia defense.
Kevin,
in these moments.
30 of 46, 362, and 2 touchdowns.
That's just crazy.
Against Georgia.
And they're bringing blitzes, getting home, and he's getting away from guys and making incredibly accurate throws 30 yards down the field
Dude, how
against
about
plays that are covered well too.
Kevin, how about the throw when you kind of feel like Ole Miss was content to go into you kind of thought they were content to go into overtime, and the throw he makes to the boundary on the right side, that was as good a throw as anybody in this
exactly.
bracket's going to make.
Yeah, right on the money. Just an absolute dot. Just like, what are we seeing here? This is a kid that was playing Division II football.
Dude, he didn't have a star next to his name.
No, they didn't even bring him in to be the starter. He knew that.
He's special. He's a special player. I am rooting for Ole Miss. I'm going to tell you that right now. Of the teams that are left, I'm rooting for Ole Miss.
Okay. I thought you would say Indiana. I thought you were going to go with Indiana there. Okay.
No. I'm worried that if Indiana gets any kind of momentum, they might be there a while. I kind of think this is a flash in the pan for Ole Miss. I don't know that Pete Golding can keep because he's not going to have Trinity Chambliss. I think he graduates. Maybe he gets a year. We'll see. He even might leave. I don't know. But man,
that would suck if he left. That would really suck if he left and went to LSU.
Don't win a title.
Great for LSU.
Don't win a title and leave, man. I'm begging you. All right, please. We'll preview the quarterfinal games, Kevin. But really fun. You fall to 32-50-2. I fall behind. I'm under 500 for the first time all year. I only have 3 games to make it up. 40-42-1. So I'm going to have to go. I've got to go 3-0 to stay above 500.
Got to get them on. Got to get them on. Again, this year, nothing makes sense about this college football season. We've got Indiana and Ole Miss and Miami and Oregon all playing potentially for a national championship. That makes no sense. Nothing about this season has.
I do not think this is an indictment on the SEC. I think the SEC just got. I mean, Alabama and Oklahoma had to play each other in the first round. I think any other matchups and maybe
Ole Miss played Georgia.
And then Ole Miss had to play Georgia. I don't think it's an indictment. Although I think if anything, it's a absolute credit to what we're seeing out of Cignetti. I mean,
yes.
Right. It's the best. It's the greatest. It could be the greatest turnaround in all of sports if they win a national championship. I mean, Indiana was terrible.
I can't think of a close second.
Definitely not in college football.
They're the worst program in the history of the sport.
Yeah.
At the D1 level, they have the lowest winning percentage historically.
Yeah, if they win the national championship, it's the single greatest turn. Maybe in sports, but definitely in college football, and it's not even close.
And it's not like they don't have any 5-star guys, which breaks every norm. You don't win the national championship without dudes.
And Kevin, this isn't a Texas Tech situation where they went out and bought a roster. They put some good pieces in place. They played the transfer portal game as good as anybody else. That's not it. But I'm talking about like unloading a bag and having a benefactor and just no.
Yeah. Well, they got some money now. Remember who Mark Stevens funding a lot of it, but it's not. But they're not doing like Texas Tech. It's not the same.
That's all I'm saying. This isn't an
the guys they're bringing in. They're not bringing in, David Bailey types.
No,
they're not bringing in former 5 stars. But watching that Texas Tech real quick, that defensive line the other day, just seeing those guys, Lee Hunter and Romello Height, and of course David Bailey, man, he's awesome. So we'll see what if they can keep this going there next year. But that money they spent on the D line, they got to spend that money on quarterback this year.
They probably can in the Big 12 though, right?
Yeah, that's true. Because who's your biggest competition? Especially when more guys are losing great players than bringing them in.
The question for Indiana is, for Texas Tech is, do they lose the benefit of the doubt in getting a first round bye? Because if they win the Big 12 again, they're in. But will there be a tickle of doubt that they should get a first round bye in the future?
If I'm them, I would not want a first round bye. We've seen that. What are they, 1-7 teams with a first round bye in the 2 years we've had this? So I don't want the bye. The bye has
Yeah.
not helped anyone. Anyone,
Nope.
no. You already get a long enough break before the playoff starts. So let's just
Man,
have at
look,
it.
I did not enjoy the first round of the playoff games. They were not fun. None of them. Now, obviously, Oklahoma game sucked balls. The Miami A&M game was 10-3, and then you had two blowouts. Terrible. I didn't hardly watch any of it outside the OU game. I watched almost every minute, uh, including the Indiana game. I was watching all through the fourth quarter. I'm like, you're not going to see this. Who thought you're ever going to see Indiana beat Alabama 38-3 in a Rose Bowl? I watched almost every second of it, Kevin. It was great. I didn't watch a ton of Oregon once they got up in the second half because it was just kind of. I felt bad for Tech. It's like, oh, so bad. Yeah. But that Ole Miss Georgia game was about as good as it gets.
Oh yeah,
about as good as it gets.
Yeah, the Sugar Bowl has brought us some good ones. The Texas Washington game was really good. We're going way back. The Ohio State Alabama game was that the first playoff?
Yep.
That one. So yeah, pretty good moments there in that stadium and the college football playoff. So.
Dude, and the rains held off, and the field was wet, but the rains held off. It was gorgeous. It was gorgeous.
Oh, the Rose Bowl you talking about? Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no better setting in American sports. Yeah, but just with the Rose Bowl though, there's no greater setting in all of American sports than the Rose Bowl.
Yeah, the national championship game does not need to be in Miami. Miami does not deserve the national championship game.
No, it doesn't. We can have it there. They get it, yeah.
Peach and Fiesta, Oregon, Indiana in the Peach, Miami, Ole Miss in the Fiesta. Kevin, we're about to close up. Quick notes on basketball. OU, nice win over Ole Miss in their opener, SEC opener. Improved to 11-3, 1-0 in the SEC. You lose to a 9-5 at the time, an 8-5 Mississippi State team, 101-98 in overtime. To yourself, falling 9-5, 0-1 in the SEC. Sean Miller not getting off to the best start down in Austin. Any thoughts on the basketball, or have you been so focused on football that it's been hard to watch?
Yeah, I've been hyper-focused on football. I haven't really watched much basketball, if any, yet this year. So we'll see. It takes time. Would it take your guy 4 years to make the tournament? So it takes time. Got to get the guys we want. So we'll see.
Yeah. Ask Ignetti how much time it takes to turn around programs when you can do it in basketball with 2 or 3 players. Listen, as far as Oklahoma goes, I think they got some guys that I don't know that they've got any superstars. Wagway is playing really, really well, and to have a big guy that can have an impact on both sides of the court is something Oklahoma hasn't had in a very long time. So that's really encouraging, I think, for the, if you get in kind of a physical game, to know you got a dude down there that can, bang. It's kind of nice. The transfer guys, I still don't even know them all yet. It's kind of to your point, have been a lot of football, but I've watched them play. Watched them play against Marquette. Watched them play against Oklahoma State. I think we got some guys with some grit, some dudes that want to play, some dudes that want to ball. So all that's good. It'll just, let's just see if we can get through if we can finish SEC a couple games over 500, we'll be in the tournament. It's very simple for Oklahoma. Texas, you're going to have to go on a little bit of a run, and I'm not sure. I'm not sure you got the horses to do it.
Correct. I'm not sure if they have it this year. So just won't waste a year, but it is what it is.
Baker did get a win against the Panthers yesterday. He is now hoping on the New Orleans Saints to beat the Falcons. Good luck with that. The Saints are terrible, and I don't know what Atlanta's necessarily playing for, but I'm, whatever.
Give Bijan the rock.
Yeah, that's correct. Unlike Sark, give him the rock and let him cook. I don't know. We'll see. And then what else we got? We've got a win or go home game tonight. Ravens Steelers is a win or go home game. So that could be interesting. See if Aaron Rodgers, who's had an up and down year.
Yeah.
He's old, right?
Is he 41? 42 perhaps?
I think this is a scenario where if you're Pittsburgh, you're like, we're going to ride him as long as we can, but they can't expect to go on into next year with him as their starting quarterback, can they?
You wouldn't think so, but you never know with these teams, man. Especially Mike Tomlin. He's a defensive guy, so he's a don't screw it up offense type of coach. So,
I
but
remember when Mike.
you would like that's how the teams are so desperate. Clearly, they brought in Phillip Rivers, the coach did.
Remember when Mike Tomlin was like the young, he was like Marcus Freeman, to the
Yes.
NFL, just the young cool guy, and now he has embraced being old and crotchety faster than anybody I think in the history of sports.
Yeah.
He is an old crotchety man who just is kind of mad at the world.
Yeah. It's pretty funny. Yeah, it happens quick. Life comes at you fast.
Right though? I mean, like he's just mean, man. He's mean all the time. And that's fine, I guess. Hey, maybe it fits in Pittsburgh. I don't know. I don't know what else we got. I think we've got some games that might affect seeding, but I don't think there's any other win and go home games. The 49ers got beat last night.
Seahawks look really good.
The Seahawks look good. I think the Rams look good. My girls asked me last night who was going to make the playoffs. I'm still not. I like Denver. I think Denver's really good.
Do you trust Bo Nix, though?
And I don't trust Bo Nix.
That's my issue with them. Maybe they'll prove us all wrong, but I don't.
Look, dude,
I'll say that on the record.
I like Josh Allen and the Bills, but I don't. He can, finally though it's wide open. No Kansas City Chiefs to worry about. So maybe this is a year for him to make those kind of moves and kind of establish a legacy. I don't trust Drake May with the Patriots any more than I trust. It's a lot of new guys at quarterback in the AFC. We'll see if Lamar can get in, right? Correct. If he can beat them, and maybe Lamar is your best bet to sneak into the Super Bowl.
But man, his season's been so weird too.
And then on the NFC side, what do you like? Do you like Seattle? Yeah, I mean, just in that division alone.
Yeah, Seattle. I like the Rams.
The Rams and the 49ers they're all in.
All
right?
three. You got all three are in. Yeah.
So, what's that leave you in the NFC? It'll be Philadelphia. And then the Packers.
Yeah, so the Seattle's in. The Bears are in with Caleb Williams. The Eagles are in. 49ers are in. The Rams are in. The Packers are in. So really, what it's going to come down to is
NFC South.
NFC South. Yeah, right.
What?
So if Atlanta wins, then Carolina's in. New Orleans wins, then Tampa's in.
Nobody deserves to be in from that division. They're all terrible.
No.
And I love Baker. I love Baker Mayfield. He hasn't had a great year, and his defense has had a worse year.
Seriously, it just hasn't been great for them at all. Any other division, they're probably a 5-win team.
All four teams.
Correct.
All four teams are at best a 5. I mean, look, it's been a nice little redemption story. I'll tell you who's had a good year and nobody's talking about is Jacksonville. Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
Is that all? Is that all Travis Hunter?
No, he's been injured. So.
Oh, all right. I thought that was going to be a nice story. That tells you how much I'm paying attention to Jacksonville.
Right. But they're in. Hey, you got a chance. And like I said, there's no dominant team. The Chargers are in. So.
The only thing I've seen of Jacksonville has been the commercials of Trevor Lawrence and Travis Hunter. That's why I thought he was still playing.
Okay.
Because they would keep showing the commercials all the time.
Yeah, he's been injured.
They look like the John Whitson and Kevin Miller of the Boomer Bevo. I get the same vibes.
Do you? Yeah.
Except for the hair. I don't have the hair. You could have the Travis Hunter hair, but I do not have the Trevor Lawrence hair.
You can grow it out. Hey, like I said, man, life comes at you fast.
Dude, listen. Hold on to what you have, because
I'm trying, man.
Doesn't last forever.
I'm trying.
Kevin, enjoy the NFL. We'll get together and we will pick these college football playoff matchups sometime next week. It'll be fun. Everybody out there, have a great week. Hope everybody had a good New Year.
For you. You talked about life coming at you fast, right? How fast time flies. 20 years ago today, John, Texas defeats University of Southern California to win the national championship in the Rose Bowl. 20 years.
I can remember watching that game and thinking, I don't want either team to win. Because if USC wins, they make a serious run at an all-time winning streak.
Yes.
They had just blown Oklahoma out the year previous. It's like I can't root for SC. I hate Pete Carroll. And they're like, but I can't stand Texas to win. I don't even know if I'm going to watch the game. And yet I watch the game and think to myself, I am watching one of the greatest college football games of all time.
Yeah.
Vince Young, I mean, you're going to have to tell me somebody else. But in the modern era, right, since the BCS era, is it the single greatest performance by an individual in a championship game?
Absolutely.
Who am I missing?
Yeah. I can't think of anyone else that even comes close.
I mean, he just put him on this back, and there was never a 3rd and 5 that he wasn't going to pick up. It was 3rd and 5 like that entire fourth quarter. I feel like in my mind it kept being a replay of the same play over and over and over. And all he did was pick it up. It was agonizing for an Oklahoma fan, yet at the same time I recognized what I was watching, and it was really, really, really good.
It was, man. It was for me, obviously, just the best sports moment of my life. And yeah, it's kind of crazy when you see a guy come in like Vince Young and he's the number 1 recruit in the country, and it's what you hope it could turn into, especially when the number 1 player is a quarterback and you get him, and then 4 years later you win the national championship with him being the stud and closing the book on an incredible career. Right. You remember the journey's ups and downs, right? You guys really got after him, especially in 2004. And at that point, it was just like, what's going to happen? They finally opened up the offense and ran what he was best at after losing to you guys in the Cotton Bowl in 2004, and never lost a game since that moment. And most of them weren't even close. So, I think it's a lesson for coaches too. Build your system around your guys instead of forcing them to be in a system.
If you're going to recruit them, then recruit them and develop them to do what they do best. Absolutely. Exactly. I couldn't agree more.
And it's crazy,
thanks for bringing that up.
It's funny because
I'm sure Oklahoma fans everywhere are appreciating you bringing that up today. That's their.
Well, it's crazy. Great. I also saw a clip of you guys winning your national championship 25 years ago.
That's correct. January 3rd.
So it's kind of wild, right? That that was the last one for Oklahoma, especially given the fact that Stoops was so new his second year. I was horrified watching that.
Kevin, we didn't even have a recruiting class yet.
It's insane. I mean, it was horrifying because I'm like, you guys, if he's winning it in his second year
with those dudes, with those guys,
right? Yeah. Most of which would not even get anywhere close to an offer from Oklahoma now.
Roy Williams probably still does.
Roy Williams at linebacker.
He was a high recruit. Oh, at linebacker instead of safety, you think?
Yeah, just because of where the game is. 6'2", 220, you're not playing safety.
Oh, well, he played cheetah, right? He'd be a cheetah.
Yeah, he could be a cheetah, yeah. He wouldn't be.
It was snowing in Oklahoma. It snowed. There was snow all over the ground. And me and my buddy Robert Ruiz, who went to Oklahoma with me, actually grew up in San Antonio and went to TAC with me. Came over to the house. We watched it, and we went out in the snow at halftime, and we're throwing the football back and forth to each other. And we just kept talking about, like, there's no way we can win this game, right? Like, I know we're up, but we can't win this, can we? We're like, well, maybe we can. You know what I mean? It's just like, maybe we can. And that was not one of the greatest games in college football history.
Not at all.
But it was one of the greatest games in Oklahoma history, and to shut down.
Suffocated the Noles that night.
Well, remember Bobby Bowden took over calling plays from Mark Richt, like in the game. You remember that?
No, I forgot about that.
Mark Richt was the offensive coordinator, and I think he was set to go to Georgia.
Yeah, he was on his way to Georgia. Yeah.
And midway through the game, Bobby Bowden took over calling plays.
They couldn't do anything.
They couldn't do anything, and they just kept showing Snoop Minnis. And it's like, did Snoop Minnis even sniff the league? Like, how are we going to talk about Snoop Minnis?
He had a very brief career. Yeah,
how are we going to talk about him like he would have been a game changer? Stop it.
Oh yeah, they'll never let that one go.
Well, they can suck it because come on. Snoop Minnis wasn't stopping. He wasn't the missing link in that game. There was nothing they were going to do. Anyway,
They couldn't do anything.
It's good times, Kevin. Good times. Oklahoma's got to get back, dude. Playoff's the first step.
Yeah.
Playoff is the first step, and it's it's okay. It's okay. I just I don't know. 17-0 at home. It's gonna be hard for me to
That's a tough one, man. Yeah, and it's losing is one thing, but all the circumstances around it, being at home, having that atmosphere,
it's hard.
Yeah,
it's hard.
Got to get back, man. Texas is all in on getting there next year. We're all in for Arch, and yeah, we got to make it happen.
And guess what, dude? Arch don't give an F anymore.
He doesn't, and that's scary, man. It's dangerous.
No F's given by Arch Manning. Kevin, have enjoyed the NFL slate, and we'll talk next week. Boomer!
Welcome.